Okay, it's time to finish the last part of the New England road trip, Sleepy Hollow, New York. Now, I know, I guess if you ask a New Englander, New York doesn't really count as New England. I feel like to me it counts, but not New York City. I don't understand the logic. Just go with it. But it's not technically New England, but it was part of our New England trip. So, and it wasn't even the original, it wasn't even part of the original plan. It was kind of like an added on. Me and Cabe love Halloween. We've discussed this before. And Sleepy Hollow is very Halloweeny. And we did Halloween activities when we were there. And because it is such a Halloweeny place, it was packed. That was the only negative of Sleepy Hollow. That was the only thing I had that was just like, oh man. I looked so forward to this trip. And it was a good trip. Also have to take into the consideration the fact that we were only there for like 24 hours. And you can, if you're there for the Halloween stuff and you're there for like the general, like specific, like Sleepy Hollow story things, then 24 hours is enough. And it would have been definitely enough if it wouldn't have been so crowded there. But it was. So we got in probably late afternoon on a Friday. I think it was about the 2nd or the 3rd of October. So we got in there late afternoon, went to our hotel, which we stayed at the, oh my gosh. Oh, I'll find the name and insert it here. But we stayed at this really nice, like estate house, like hotel, and there was a wedding there that weekend. So first of all, I'm surprised that we got a room there. It's a beautiful location for sure. Very confusing rooms, very confusing. I got lost many times and not easily accessible, depending on where you stay. Like there's no elevators there. So it's kind of old school. So if you stay there, just take that into consideration. But it was really nice there. But we hung out at the hotel, got settled in, and then we immediately tried to get to dinner because I wanted to go to Horse Feathers. And if you go to Sleepy Hollow, you got to go to Horse Feathers. And the thing I love about, I think her name's Julie that owns it. I follow her on Instagram. But the thing I love about Julie is she's really festive into holidays. Like she even decorated for like Valentine's Day. Before I went off Facebook or Instagram, I saw that. And she really gets into Halloween. So she decks that place out and it's been there for a really long time. So I knew that the closer we got to dinner, the busier it was going to be. But unfortunately, like typically I would go to dinner, if it was a busy place, typically I would go to dinner like 3 or 4. And that usually can time me over. I mean, you hit up a dessert place later that night and I'm fine. Like if I even have to do that. But we had already gotten in there so like late. I think we got there around 3:30 or 4. And we had to eat something before we had reservations for 7 to the Jack-o'-lanterns Blaze. I was so excited about that. So we went to Horse Feathers and it was a wait. I think we waited, it was at least 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. But we got there early enough. Food was great. I think I got a grilled cheese sandwich. I really wasn't that hungry. We'd had the pizza at Frank Pepe's earlier that day. I don't think I was really that hungry because we had snacks and stuff. And I was just really, really nervous about meeting our reservation time because I knew that was going to be busy. So everything's chaotic. Everything's busy there. So ate at Horse Feathers. That was great. Really cool and decorated. And I'm going to just be upfront with you all. When I was on this trip, I was trying to document it. But some of the excitement of all of it, I just wasn't thinking, hey, slow down the camera. Slow it down so people can actually see what you're looking at. And you will definitely see that in Horse Feathers. Like I just was speeding that sucker up. and you really couldn't soak it in. But if you go to Julie's Instagram page, you can see everything she did, like all the little details. So went to dinner, then we went to Jack-o'-lantern's Blaze, and it was so cool. My Beeve, my stepdad, he loved it. I was surprised at how much he loved it, but he was just like, this was like one of the best parts of my whole trip, which is really saying something, because he loves Maine, he loves Boothbay. But he really loved the Jack-o'-lantern's Blaze, and Cabe loved it, and I loved it. There's just so many, even though it's like all jack-o'-lanterns, there's just so many lights that go into it, and all the colors, everything's beautiful, and a wide range of, I think the theme was circus. Yeah, I think that was at least part of the theme. But there was like an Irish, like Gaelic section, Celtic, whatever you want to call it. They cover a whole multitude of things. I really loved the lighthouse. That was my favorite. But yeah, it was just great. The whole thing was so cool to see.
When I bought my tickets, I purchased an extra package that allowed us to have like snacks with the Headless Horseman himself. And I didn't tell Beeve and Cabram that it was a real person. And when we walked in, I saw him sitting there. And so I was like, let's go get a picture with him. And they were totally unsuspecting. He starts moving and they both got so startled, and Cabe was so afraid. But we walked over and we got a complimentary drink and a Bavarian pretzel with like mustard or cheese and like a little chocolate pumpkin or headless horseman, or the head of the horseman. And it was just really, really cool. And as we were there for a little bit, Cabe was like pointing at him and he was being playful. And it was just a really neat experience because Cabe was all about the headless horseman. I had to introduce them.
Mommy, you have to build your own fort and... Hold on a second.
Yes, some of them know, but some are very...
Well, my chocolate pieces got put up.
This is Winnie the Pooh, isn't it?
Is that Wicket?
Is this Winnie the Pooh?
Mommy, is that Wicket?
I don't know.
Mommy, is that Wicket?
I don't know, baby. I think it is. It must be because I don't know about it. I have no idea what that is.
It is, Mommy. It is. Mommy, it is Wicket.
Oh, okay, baby.
Because I think I'm...
Look, buddy. Here's the House of Mirrors.
Do you remember when you went on the carousel at Disneyland?
There's a Ferris wheel.
Mommy,
This is the carnival theme.
Yeah, it's circus.
Mommy, look. It is funny. I don't have no legs. Look how tiny.
Mommy looks like a big potato or like a chicken nugget.
Mommy, look. You look like you're squashed.
I look like a chicken nugget.
Pappy, look at yourself. You look like... Mommy, do I look
Pappy.
like I'm squashed? Do I look like I'm squashed?
Yeah. You look like, I don't know.
Look at all
Ferris
these
wheel.
freaking
It's a Ferris wheel.
You don't like those things, do you, buddy?
Look at all those people waiting in line, buddy. They're all pumpkin people. That's what.
What are they waiting
That's what Pappy was talking about. That looks like you at the pirate hat one.
What are they doing?
Trying to get tickets into the circus. Oh, the music's speeding up. Mommy's gonna have an anxiety attack. Look, there's the guys on the stilts. That's hilarious right there.
Look at this strong man.
Mommy, look at the mermaids. The mermaids, Mommy.
Oh, I love that.
And what else?
Looks like Snake Charmer, the Strong Man, Mr. Bendy, and the Sword Eater.
How do you know?
Because it says it. Mr. Bendy's the one that's upside down like that.
How do you know that?
Because it says Mr. Bendy. Oh my gosh, look at the trapeze artist. That's freaking cute.
Mommy, what's the one that looks
Then the next day we got up not too early because we're pretty tired by this point. It's the end of the week that we've been going and traveling and driving around. So we got up at a decent time and then we went to breakfast at another place that I can't remember the name of, but I will insert here. But that was cool. We ordered our food. We did have a little bit of a wait, but it wasn't terrible. And we sat down. I think I got fried potatoes and maybe pancakes, and Kate got a lot of fruit. As soon as we got our meal, the electricity went out. They must have been doing construction or something at the building adjacent, or like connected to the restaurant, and they must have cut something. And the electricity went out right as soon as we got our food. I mean, it was, thank God that we were able to eat. And it was warm. It was warm in Sleepy Hollow at this point. The sun was bright. It was a beautiful day, but we were definitely dressed for warm weather, and sitting in that restaurant, which was very small, with all those people, it got a little toasty, but we made do and it wasn't anything crazy. So after that, we did some touring around, and all the storefronts, like some of the windows, they paint them up for Halloween. They decorate them, and they decorate some of the outsides of the storefronts. So that was cool to see those. But we knew we weren't going to be there very long that day. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but we knew we weren't going to be there all day. So I didn't want to spend too much time in the stores. And we stayed on the one main strip. And I think that was our mistake. There was a whole other world on another street and didn't get to explore it. We were so tired by the time that we realized there was another strip that it was just, yeah, no good. But we went down to the Sleepy Hollow Bridge, or what they think was the bridge. We saw the statues. We went to the old Dutch church, which that was the furthest we went on that main street, like Main Street. But that church was really cool. And it was very pretty, and so I was really happy that I got to see that. We did walk the cemetery behind it, and we found Washington Irving's grave, which you can't access up close, but you can see it. and just kind of perused there briefly. And then we went to a farmer's market that they have there. I just took Cabe to the playground. They had a really nice playground, and he was playing with some kids. He had a lot of energy to burn. Like, he was climbing over. They have like tons of like rock, like stone walls, and he was climbing over everything. So I was like, okay, there's a playground. You can go play. I'll sit here and relax, because we were going down hills, up hills in the heat. It was a lot. And our timer was running out on our parking meter. So Beef hightailed it straight to the car. I went with Cabram to the park, and the market was really cool. It was really, really nice. Nothing of interest for me at that time, because I was just checked out, I think. But it was a really nice park. I did peruse it like a little bit once Beef came back and hung out with Cabe, so I could like get a look around real quick. Not a huge market. I was able to do it pretty quickly, but it was neat. And then I think at that point it was about 2. I think we left Sleepy Hollow around 2 p.m. And I was so sure Cabram was gonna pass out, and he didn't. He stayed awake the whole time. The whole way home, didn't sleep one time. And we were looking at like a 5-hour trip, plus we stopped for McDonald's in New Jersey. So about 6-7 hours it probably took us to get home, and he didn't sleep at all. But my final thoughts on Sleepy Hollow were that it's a really beautiful town. They have a great sense of humor. They have a great spirit about them. Like the funeral home with a big skeleton in the middle of the yard, like that's a great sense of humor. But it was a really nice city. I wish I could have explored more. I wish I could have gone to the one, was it Del Marco's? I don't know. There's some grocery store that people talk about, or some kind of like market or something. And one of the a tour guide that I follow on Instagram, I saw her out with her tour while we were at the Sleepy Hollow Bridge. We were waiting to cross the street, and I had said hi to her, and she was really nice. But she was telling us about the grocery store, the supermarket, Del Marco's or something. And we didn't go down that street because we had to get back to our meter, and it was just, it was a bit of a chaotic trip. But you know, you're looking at 24 hours and you couldn't get anywhere. That main strip, every street was bumper to bumper. There were so many people there. There were so many people there trying to see and trying to visit. And we walked like a mile just to get from the restaurant we were at all the way to the church. It was about a mile, but it was just so much easier than trying to move the car, trying to find parking, and trying to sit in that almost standstill traffic. It was so slow, and it was a little bit overwhelming. I think I would definitely go back to Sleepy Hollow. I would probably go back. I think it would still be a worthwhile trip in November, early November, because that's when the colors are really shining. It's getting to be a little bit spooky, but that you still have that feel. I would go back in November, and I would go back in September. Like, it really is a cool town, and there was more to see. September would probably be safe, but I don't think, like, when we went to Sleepy Hollow, I saw everywhere how busy it was. Like, when we were in our hotel, the news was on, and they were like, we're encouraging people to take the train, which is exactly what they say to visitors going to Salem, at the train. But I just didn't see much about the crowds. I figured it was going to be busy. I mean, it's Halloween. Like, I knew it was going to be busy, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. I don't even think we dealt with that much congestion when we were in Salem. And we went there in October, the middle of October, close to it. So, and there's no way that Salem's less popular than Sleepy Hollow. I mean, yeah. So I just think that if it would have been less crowded and congested, that we would have enjoyed it so much more. And we may have even spent more time there. That is my only issue with it. Like, otherwise, it was a great trip. I would even go there in Christmas time. I mean, I've seen some pics from like Instagram from different seasons there, and I think it's like normal enough of a city, you know, aka not so focused on the spooky and Halloween, but I think it's normal of a city that you can enjoy it different times of the year. And there is history there, and it's close enough to New York City that you could just, if you want to go to New York City and make a pit stop, you could stop at Sleepy Hollow any time of the year. So that's my takeaway. That's the last place that we went to on the trip, the best trip I've ever been on, almost. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to going on another fall trip, or at least another trip to New England in the future. It probably might not be this year, might be next year, but I'm so excited to go back up to New England. Actually, I am going back up to New England in July. KB and I are going to Newport, Rhode Island, and very excited about that. Another very crowded place, but we will be staying in the Chart House Inn, which is in Bowen's Wharf, or it's like right off of Bowen's Wharf. So we'll be able to walk out the doors of our inn and go peruse around. And for me, the major thing with traveling is accessibility. Like, refer to Mystic. We didn't stay in town, and that really took a lot away from the trip. I feel like I kind of bashed Mystic a lot in my last video. That's how I really feel, but I just, like I said, like it's all about accessibility. I think it would have been different if I was in there. So everywhere I go, Salem included, we tried to stay right in there in the midst of everything. So easy accessibility, easy access to the fun, and not having to find travel arrangements or anything like that, cars or anything. So Newport, Rhode Island, we're going to be staying there a couple weeks after 4th of July. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to being by the ocean and hopefully trying to see some lighthouses. That's kind of my goal, is to go see some lighthouses. And that will be my taste of New England this year. Maybe go to Maine again in the winter. I don't know. That's kind of like depending on my stepdad and like what he wants to arrange and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish I could have brought like something new, but whatever. This is for me. This is my experience, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. But thank you for stopping by and watching the video, and we'll see you next time.